This was really fun. I picked up 10 different guitars with 10 different Wang Bars and just kind of evaluated the differences. Let's see which one we like the best. Click the link below if you want to check out the masterclass. So this one's set up Jeff Beck style with the floating bridge. And so you can go up and down, which is really cool. And this is straight from the factory. This is their American Professional Series, and they set it up. I think they ship it like this. So I'll demonstrate. I'm going to go way up. And I'll go down. And it stays pretty well in tune. Honestly, I think to get it back in tune, you would just have to kind of give it a good wobble. Like if you're doing something really, really, really radical, or to get it back in tune, you probably just have to go. So everything kind of resets in this area. So this bridge is hard against the body, and it's the 6-pole bridge, which I really love the sound of. This could be set up to float easily, but it's kind of nice, you know, it's very stable back against the body like this, but I really have to muscle it to get smooth kind of floaty vibrato thing. And I do kind of miss the up and down, you know, the pitch staying in the middle and going below the middle and above the middle. But if you're willing to use a little muscle in here, you can kind of make it work. And then, of course, the guitar is very much stable and staying in tune, because even when you pull strings, the bridge stays locked against the body. So this is a guitar I've been using since the 90s, and I love the Floyd Rose because it stays perfectly in tune. We know that. Great for tracking. The one thing is, though, it does thin out the sound of the guitar a little bit. You can bring that back with a little bit of gain and distortion. This was actually hollowed out, too, for some kind of heavy metal kind of stuff that I used to do. So you can go way, way up on this. Probably I could snap the strings if I wanted to. But I really like to use this for gentle chordal float. And I have delay on and I have reverb on because the bending really is enhanced by a little trail that comes afterwards from delay or reverb, or both. But the real benefit of this system, it's just perfectly in tune all the time. You just set it and forget it. Never have to worry. Okay, so here's a Jim Tyler guitar with a mid boost, so you can get really thick single notes. And I was here in the 80s and I did a little bit of this stuff, just a little of it. And this bridge is hard against the body, and I think Van Halen did that. He had no problem doing plenty of cool trem stuff. Again, it takes some muscle with the arm. And really what helps this stay in tune is the straight string pull and the locking tuners. And I love the mid boost in this thing. For single note stuff up high, really is nice. Let me click it on and off. There, it's off. Now it's on. So this old Mosrite is hard to play. You didn't see the 7 outtakes when I was just trying to get my fingers to make this thing work. It sounds great though. The neck is just a little bit clunky to play on, but that in a way makes your style rougher, and for me that's good to take away some polish. This is a great tremolo arm. So just look at this spring. I mean, with a spring like that, you're going to do amazing wangs. I mean, it's really loose and rubbery, so you can do really radical stuff. And I don't know if you're catching this though, but it does go out of tune a little easier than the last couple of guitars I had in my hands. But it's worth it. Oops. So now we have a Bigsby, and this is a great bridge. The play, there's not that much play in this thing, so you don't get a lot out of it when you shake it. I think maybe if I replaced it with one of those big huge springs, I could get more, but I love this guitar, the way it sounds. And generally I have to work a little harder to wiggle this thing. Like I said, not much happens when you go like this. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it's restraining me. I need to be restrained on this. But the great thing about this guitar, it's one of the oldest guitars I have, and it sounds really good. It's these de-Armand pickups. So this is another Bigsby, and it does have more play, and I think the spring is just a little bigger. So I could really do a lot more with a lot less motion. I think this Bigsby really kind of adds to the tone of this guitar too. This is kind of a new reissue, I think, from the Nashville factory. And it has I think it has the Rusty Anderson pickups in it. I got it from John Shank. But it is interesting to hear the Bigsby with humbuckers. And this guy's staying in tune pretty darn well. Oh, I have the string butler on it. A little endorsement for the string butler. This bridge is special. You really have to barely touch it. You get the most out of the least with this. And I can just barely, I play so gently. And it wobbles really easily. It's really nice what they do with this thing. It's the Ronin with the 1,000-year-old wood choice. I'm really lucky to have this guitar. The gold foil pickups really make a nice glassy sound all the time too. But the action on this, you barely have to touch it and it moves nicely. It's really a pleasure. But I demonstrated something that all of these do. It's this stutter that happens. And if I pick a note really loud, that can happen too. Hear the stutter? So you have to be careful of that unless you want it. I mean, there's no reason to hit a guitar this hard. But it will, the action of doing that will actually make the arm wobble a little bit. So here's the Duesenberg Mike Campbell model, and this does have, like the Mosrite, it has kind of an updated version of the Mosrite where it's really exaggerated. It's got a huge spring right here, so you can really rock it a lot. But because it's new and it stays a little more in tune, it's more refined than the Mosrite. Love this guitar. And I think they make all of their hardware themselves. It's really cool. It's kind of a cross between the Mosrite bridge and the Bigsby bridge. Real stable and in tune, but it gives you that rubbery, big throw from the big spring. Last but not least, Danelectro Baritone with a Wang Bar. I was working on a film score and I asked them if they had one of these and they sent it to me. It's awesome. You can split these coils, and in a situation like this, the low notes sound so good, sometimes I'm tempted just to play single notes. The tremolo helps.